Hey y'all, welcome back to VersionU TV. I'm really excited to talk about this topic today because I just enjoy talking about it. I'm really passionate. I love hearing different people's opinions on certain scenarios when it comes to this topic. So I'm excited to do this video with y'all today. I have a little notebook with some notes that I kind of wanted to jot down, make sure I mention in this video so I can make some, make sure there's some gems in this video and not be too much all over the place. But to take a step back, in high school, I always had this, early on, I always had this, thinking of, if someone comes to you and doesn't want to be with you, cry it out, be sad, but, eventually that's got to stop, because you're better off knowing if a person doesn't want to be with you and knowing that maybe that wasn't your person in that moment, because maybe they will be your person at a later date, but knowing that that person does not want to be with you in this moment, it's like the key to opening a new door of potentially finding the person who does want to be with you. So I just can never understand how people can stay down about a person saying, yeah, I don't want to be with you anymore for so long, because that person is doing you a favor. But that's beyond the point. Another note I want to add to is I haven't really dated like average people date. I dated 2 people in high school. But high school just doesn't count to me. It just doesn't. I feel like people date in high school and it's a part of life. You go through experiences, you live, you learn, right? But since those, 2 relationships that I had in high school, I haven't dated anybody. Crazy. No, honestly, it's not really crazy. Anyway, that's beyond the point. I haven't dated since high school, so I've never been in a relationship since high school. But I feel like I've done a lot of people watching. I've learned a lot. I don't know, I just feel like when it comes to this topic, I'm very, hate to use this word, but woke, I guess you can say. And I feel like now I'm at a point where, I just see things differently. So anyway, since then, I've gotten a little older, because I know I'm still young. For everybody, jumps in the comments, or people that are watching this are like, hey, you're young. Let me say it for you, I'm young. But anyway, when I came to Delaware, I started watching this dude on YouTube. His name is Kevin Samuels. If you don't know who he is, I advise you to maybe go back and watch his videos after watching this video, and maybe you'll understand why I have the opinions that I do. And I will say this disclaimer when it comes to watching his videos. Depending on how you go into watching his videos, you're going to get a certain reaction. If you're a female and you go into his videos and you're very if you go into it looking for something to not like, you're going to come out with not liking something, If you go into it with other people's opinions of what you've heard of him, you're going to have the opinion that that person had finishing that video. So I would say go into it with an open mind and not to just watch one video. And I'll say that because when I first started watching Kevin Samuels videos, I was just like, yeah, he's right. He's speaking facts. I got to a point where I was watching his videos while I was doing work. I would literally watch his videos all day, back to back to back. So I almost, in a way, I studied this man. I got to a point where I was on my Snapchat and I was like, ladies, y'all need to be watching Kevin Samuels. Y'all need to be watching him. And it got to a point where it was kind of like, Dai, you need to take a break from watching this man. And that's what I had to do. Because, and I'll dive into this a little bit deeper later in the video, but if you watch him too much, you will, not to say you will, but I, started to absorb a lot of what he was saying, and I kind of got down on myself a little bit, I was like, I need to be smaller, I need to be doing this, I need to be doing this, if I want to get a man, I need to be doing all of this, and it's like, Dai, you're not doing that, you're not going to get a man, you need to change some things. And so that was my mindset for a minute. And, I went back and I watched his videos some more. I would bring up certain things that came up in his videos with men, bring it up with females, get other people's opinions on it. Some things I agree with still to this day, certain things I don't agree with. But with that being said, I have, in a way, like I said, I've studied Kevin Samuels, so I understand what he's doing. I understand what he's trying to do. I get out of it what I need to get out of it, and I go on with my life. I'm at a point where I can watch his videos, not get offended, take some, gems from it, and apply it to my life, and so be it. So I want to touch on Kevin Samuels, since I've kind of given y'all a little bit of my personal thought process and what I've experienced watching his videos, I want to touch on some things. And like I said, if you don't know who he is, if you haven't watched his videos, do watch that after this video, or stop and go look him up. Just look at his Instagram page, see what he's kind of advertising and posting, what his like brand and his theme is. But I'm gonna slightly tell you my opinion of what his brand and his theme is anyway. So Kevin Samuels, he's this man, you know, who tries to, I don't even want to say what it is he does. I'd rather you watch and see what he does. So I'm just going to speak on certain things. Before I dive into Kevin Samuels, there's another like podcast, YouTube streaming group. It's these two men. Their podcast, YouTube, whatever it's called, Freshandfit. They kind of speak on the same things that Kevin Samuels speaks on when it comes to relationships and women and what's going wrong and what people should be doing and why stuff is not working. They speak on it too, and I found Freshandfit from watching Kevin Samuels. Both of these people have lots of followers, you know, make money from doing what they do. But I want to, you know, like I keep saying, I'm going to get into it. So let me just get into it. One of my problems with Kevin Samuels is, you know, Kevin Samuels preaches about high value men. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's great. You know, motivate men to become the better version of themselves. Like, by all means, I support. But the problem that I found with Kevin Samuels and what he's doing is, intentionally or unintentionally, he has led regular men to believe that they're high value, and now they are looking for these high expectations in women. And it's like, wait a minute, brother, check yourself. Are you a high value man? You know, so, you know, some people say, oh, he tears women down. I want to say this, make this very known. I don't think Kevin Samuels tears women down. Of course, absolutely, he could be nice. But when you do something that makes you money and people enjoy what you do, they think it's funny, they laugh, they're the ones paying you that money, causing you to have the amount of views you have and have the opportunities that you have, you're gonna keep doing it. If you get on live and you tell this girl she's dumb, she's never gonna find a man, and whether it's men or women laughing at that and think it's funny, you're gonna continue doing that. When people are making money, people are not always going to do what is right or what's morally, you know, right. They're not going to do the right thing, you know, do the right thing. That whole saying, it doesn't apply to people when they start making money. You start making money, and at the end of the day, it's business. You know what I'm saying? I'm handling business. I'm taking care of me and mine. And that's kind of what Kevin Samuels is doing in my eyes. Like, he's not going to start being nice to people just because, you know, people in the comments are saying he's mean. But every week he looks at his views, and his views are going up. Every week he looks at his money from Patreon, it's going up. He's not going to change what he's doing because, you know, Sally Mae in the comment section is saying, you're so rude, how could you say this to black women? That's not going to happen. So that's why I say, when you watch his videos, you can't go in there with your heart on your sleeve, you know, looking to not be offended, because you just might be offended. I mean, he kind of offended me when he didn't offend me, but I just didn't agree with him. Kevin Samuels preaches that, you know, you need to be slim, you know, you shouldn't be obese. You know, there are a lot of women that come on his page or his live who you would think like they look like they in shape, they look good, you know. And what he's gonna basically do is use the BMI scale to say, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? You know, how often do you work out? And then he's gonna be like, you're obese, you know. So at first, like, I was like, I don't like you, Kevin Samuels, because if you know me, if you've seen me, like, I don't think I look obese. According to the BMI scale, I'm obese. Like, even when back in the day when I was a kid and I played Wii Fit, I used to get on the scale, that thing used to say obese in capital letters. I still see it, you know. But I also know that I don't look as much as I weigh. Like, I weigh 180 pounds on a good day. You know what I'm saying? So I'm a very solid girl. And at first I'll be like, Kevin Samuels, like, you want me to lose 30 pounds, like, what are you talking about? But I'm gonna get to, you know, why I agree on Kevin Samuels on certain aspects. But that's one thing I really didn't agree on when I was first watching him. But as I studied him, I realized that when these women come on his show, come on his lives or his YouTube, whatever the case may be, he always asks the females what it is they want. And once he starts asking them what it is they want, you'll see what they're asking for is a high value man, or in other terms, a man that's in the 1%. So these aren't men that are making $100,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? These are men making well over that. And that's what these women are asking for based on what it is they believe they need and based on what it is they want. So when he tells these women, you know, you have to lose weight to be with a man like that, you have to accept cheating to be with a man like that, I agree with him. When the caliber of a man goes up, like, the door for his options are limitless. So if you put yourself in a man's mind, if he can have any female in the world, he's not going to sit down and settle with just one. Like, that's just not how men think, you know. Us females would be thinking like, well, why not? Like, we're emotional. Like, why wouldn't you want to have a connection with your soulmate, like your one and only? Men don't think like that. If he knows that he's everything that a female wants, and he can get whatever he wants out of those females, he's going to get it from those females. So Kevin Samuels basically preaches, like, you know, you say you want a high value man. Do you want the lifestyle of a high value man? And then you say you want a high value man. Do you have what a high value man is looking for? And it offends a lot of women, you know? So like I said, I agree on some things. I don't agree on some things. For me, I don't get offended because I don't want a high value man. I don't want to be in a relationship, you know, having name brands given to me every week and having my allowance on the counter and taking care of the kids and driving a nice car with a man who's not loyal to me. I don't want that. I'd rather have an average man, you know? So he preaches that. Freshandfit, they kind of preach the same thing. Go look at their content too. You'll see it. You know, they preach alpha man, which is an alpha man who can provide for his family and makes enough for where, like, the female doesn't have to work and yada, yada, yada. Right? Woo, that was a lot. So yeah, like I was saying, you know, he kind of he boosts some men ego. Why can I get this out? He boosts men's egos, you know, like way past what it should be for some men, you know. I'll give y'all a perfect example. I met this guy, right? We was having conversations, yada, 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 right? And this man told me, now I think he transported cars, or like he was a truck driver, or was about to start his own transportation business. It was something along those lines, right? And man, when I tell y'all, I'm doing this, I make this amount of money, like, my woman ain't gonna have to work, you know, I got it like that. I would never make my woman pay the bills. I'm paying all the bills if you with me, yada, 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 right? Cause I'm a high value man, you know what I'm saying? I ain't like these other dudes. I'm different. I'm up here, you know what I'm saying? That was his mojo right there. Like, that was his, this is when I'm finna sell her. I'm finna have her wrapped around my finger, right? Dude gonna say to me, but if you want to be with me, a high value man, you gotta lose 30 pounds. And y'all, I laugh because I still to this day cannot believe this man said this to me. And it's a couple of reasons why I couldn't believe he said this to me, was because he was not in shape himself. So Kevin Samuels, because we talked about Kevin Samuels, he watched Kevin Samuels, boosted this man's head to the point where he thought, hey, I cannot be in shape and have a little gut and a belly and, you know, not go to the gym. And because I made money and can pay her bills, which we're going to talk about that, because I make money and I can pay her bills, I can tell a female that she want to be with me, she can lose weight. No, because it's a couple of things. One, when I checked him on that and I was like, I'm not going for that. That's disrespectful. That's rude. One, you're not a high value man. You know, I didn't tell him that because I don't need to try to break somebody down who's already boosted themselves up. That's not my job. I'm going to remove myself from a situation. We probably not even in the same category. But if you want to believe you're in a different category, by all means, you got it. Since you're such a high value man, you know what I'm saying? Your net worth should be your network, and, you know, you should have all the people in your circle to tell you that. I don't need to tell you that since I'm so below you. You know what I'm saying? Dude was in my DMs, hey, let's hang. Last time I checked, a high value man can have anybody he want. And he not going to be DMing no little girl not a little girl, not, you know what I'm saying, I'm not a little girl, but he not gonna be DMing, you know, no little girl talking about, I'm sorry, let's hang out, because if you a high value man, last time I checked, you got all the options in the world. It's not giving high value man, okay? Anyway, that was just a side note to, you know, back my point about how Kevin Samuels is really having some of these men out here thinking that they high value and they're not. And I want to say this too. You making $100,000 does not make you a high value man, in my personal opinion. Now, some men can go around and flaunt that I make $100,000 to some females, and some females will go crazy. Not I. I'm not that girl. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, being high value comes with a lot of different characteristics. It's not just about how much money you make, because one, you can make money, but how well do you manage it? Because $100,000 can go real quick trying to live a lifestyle that your bank account really ain't ready for. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother topic. But anyway, let me go back and look at my notes real quick. Yeah, another thing I want to say, you know, the high value man, the alpha man, that's no different from what society has created for women, such as I'm a queen, you know, I'm a boss. Those two things, when you have I'm a queen, I'm a boss, you know, I get it on my own for the females, and you have I'm an alpha male, I'm a high value man for the men, those are literally the same thing. You know, it basically slaps on everybody a piece of tape or a label that I'm up here, and the reality is you're not. When it comes to society, you have the people at the top of the line and you got people at the back of the line. You know what I'm saying? When you look at a tax bracket, you got people on the top of the tax bracket, you got people at the bottom of the tax bracket. It's a range. You can't put everybody in one category, and that's what society wants to do, you know. Don't ever let anybody tell you you're not a queen. No, there's some females out here who are not queens. You know what I'm saying? Some females out here who talk very nasty to people when it's uncalled for. There's some females out here who be slashing dudes' tires when it's uncalled for. Not every female is a queen, but we've created this society where it's like, I'm a queen, I should be treated like this. I'm a queen, I know what I bring to the table. I'm a queen, I'm a boss, I'm out here getting it on my own. You know what I'm saying? And no, ma'am. No, ma'am. Not everybody's a queen. Not everybody's a boss. You know, just because you have a business does not mean you're out here being a boss, because at the end of the day, nobody can tell me otherwise. Females naturally look for people who can protect and provide. So you going around here flaunting, you know, I'm a boss, I'm an entrepreneur, I plan to have this by the end of the year. It's all fine and dandy for yourself. But no man is out here checking for females who are bosses and entrepreneurs who are saying that they make so much money. That is not the natural male instinct to look for a female who can do that. Let's take animals, because humans are like animal when it comes to relationships and reproducing. No lion is out there looking for, I don't even know if a female lion is called a lion. But anyway, for this scenario, it's going to be a lion, and one going to be a male, one going to be a female. No male lion is out there looking for a female lion who out there hunting down food for the kids better than the rest of the male lions in the jungle. That's not attractive to him. Men don't look for females who can protect and provide. Now, if he sees a nice little lady lion over there taking care of her little cubs, that's what's going to attract that man. So when I take that scenario and compare it to humans, you know, it's great that females have bossed up, but we can't forget that that is not what men are looking for. You know what I'm saying? The way that we look for men to boss up and be able to provide for a future family, that's a female characteristic that we look for in men. Men do not look for that in women. That's one area that we're going wrong. Let me see what else I got on here. Matter of fact, let me put my glasses on so I can actually see. Another problem, and see, y'all, I'm really going on a rant because I just be having a lot of different opinions on these topics. But another thing I see, you know, a lot of females are so, you know, they're brainwashed by social media. You know, social media makes it out to seem like The man is supposed to give, and that the female don't have to do nothing in return to get those things from a man. And, you know, it makes it seem like, it makes women, you know, have this idea that I'm a queen, I'm a boss, like, he should be giving me this. Like, for my ladies out there, get your man to want to genuinely get those things to you out the kindness of his heart. Don't have a man who gives you those things because he sees that that's what you expect him to do, because it's not genuine. That's why relationships don't last. People are doing things just to please people, and none of it is because they really care about that person or really genuinely care about seeing that person happy. We're just doing things because it makes people happy. Then you have women that's like, well, if he ain't gonna buy me the flowers for Valentine's Day, I'm gonna go out there and do it myself. I'm gonna have me a galleon's time since he don't want to take me out. Like, you have to do things that makes a man want to genuinely do that. You know what I'm saying? We see all this stuff on social media. He got me a bouquet of flowers with, you know, $2,000 in it. That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. But do you have a man who can do that? Or are you about to make this man go broke trying to please you and give you what you see on social media, and you haven't done nothing for this man? You can't even boil water for this man. So, yeah, anyway. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about too. I was guilty of this as well. You know, when I was in, you know, I had a conversation in college when this actually hit me. You know, probably freshman, sophomore year, I had this idea that, you know, my husband, the husband I see when I close my eyes and visualize my wedding, he's not making little money. Like, in my mind, I was like, my husband is definitely making $250,000 a year. Like, my husband gonna have it, you know what I'm saying? He gonna make money. But it really didn't hit me until like freshman, maybe like sophomore, junior year, you know, when I had actually sat down and looked up what the average, you know, for me, I personally looked up what the average black man made. And it was a very humbling experience, you know what I'm saying? Not to say people that don't make the average or make above the average aren't out there, but as you find men who make more, who bring more to the table, like I said, their range of options are much wider. So the higher you go, the higher caliber of men, not just financially, but, you know, when you say that's a good man, you know what I'm saying? He all around, take care of himself, you know, working on himself, go to the gym, you know, good with kids, want to protect and provide. He, you know, opening the door, doing all this great stuff that you don't see, you know, every man do on a day-to-day basis. Those men have higher options. So therefore, as a female, you put yourself in a competition with a lot more ladies, you know what I'm saying? Versus getting an average man. Not to say this average man won't pursue his other options that he has too, or cheat like a man that's in the 1% will, but your pool of competition will be much smaller. So yeah, I hope that made sense, because I think I went on a whirlwind. Yeah. And the other thing I want to say too, about Kevin Samuels and Freshandfit, and why people get so offended. And when you get offended and you go out and you try to bash them on social media and be like, oh my God, look at these people, you only pay them more money. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about me, I'm not finna pay nobody that already got a lot of money more money. You know, I'm not finna give Beyonce more money. She already got money. Like, people getting so rich nowadays, they don't even know what to do for fun. Like, no. That's a side note. But anyway, yeah, people get upset with Kevin Samuels. People get upset with Freshandfit, and they take the time out of their day, you know, to try to report and say, this man, we need to cancel him, we need to do this or whatever. In reality, you're giving these people more exposure to expand their platform. And another thing people have to think about too is, like, when people are talking relationships, even right now when I'm talking relationships, everything is generalized. You know what I'm saying? I put all men into one category. I put all females into one category. A lot of times when females go and watch Kevin Samuels, they be looking, you know, watching this video. Not me. I don't do that. No, he lying. I don't do that. If you don't do that, that's fine and dandy. You know, but he is speaking for women. So you may fall in that generalization or you may not. You know what I'm saying? So anyway. problem I have with relationships in general, in mainstream media, and, you know, people who give relationship advice, you know, even this video I'm making right now, you know, I'm putting my opinion out to into the world. At the end of the day, no matter how many videos you watch on relationships, how many relationship counselors you go to, how many relationship books you read, you know, or how many relationships you're in, it ultimately comes down to, and it baffles me that people are so, like, you know, they'll do everything but what I'm about to say. You know, they'll go over here and do this and get this advice and pay this money and talk to this person and do everything but what I'm about to say is communicate with the person you want a relationship with. You know what I'm saying? And people really think that they have communicated with the person that they're in a relationship with. But the truth of the matter is they haven't communicated with that person. The truth of the matter is that they have probably done some things where they're like, well, I thought you would have knew I was mad. Well, I thought you would have knew I wanted that. Well, I thought you would have knew, and assumed. You know what I'm saying? If you don't communicate it in a way that your partner can understand, you might as well go talk to a wall. You know what I'm saying? And expect to get no results. And that's what I think a lot of people in relationships do. You know, girls go, we talk to our friends, and that's all fine and dandy, but you can go off and talk to your friends and say, girl, I don't know what to do. He's tripping to die. You know, dudes, I don't know if they really go talk to, you know, their friends about relationships. They might just be like, man, she tripping, dog. She tripping, dog. Or whatever. But anyway, that was a side piece. I don't know why I had to go into a whole theatrical mode right there. But, yeah, they'll do everything but go talk to the other person, you know. And you have to understand how that person wants to be communicated to. You know, me, if I'm in a relationship, which hasn't happened, but if I'm in a relationship and we having some issues, like, I will communicate to you, you know, hey, I want to talk about this now, or hey, I want to talk about this later. Then the other person will have to communicate to me, I don't want to talk about it right now. And then we'll have to find a middle ground, you know. Or this person may say, you know, I just need 5 minutes, you know, I need to go to the gym real quick and we can talk about it. But people don't communicate like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, people let so many other outside sources and opinions, you know, they let so much stuff inside of their relationship. You know, relationships are supposed to be between you and the other person, or, you know, if you like polygamy or whatever it is, like, it needs to be between whoever is involved in the relationship, you know? So, I don't know. Relationships nowadays is just, I don't want to call it a mess, because, you know, I hope that there's one out there that isn't a mess, because I hope to have a good one. But relationships, you know, I think people really make it harder than what it needs to be, and don't think about, like, the aspects that go into a relationship, you know. So people just, I don't think, are ready to lose the idea of it just being them and forming it into an idea of being us. So when there's arguments, it's 9 times out of 10, one person's thinking about just themselves and the other person's thinking about themselves. But 9 times out of 10, when people are arguing, are they thinking about both sides? No, because their emotions are running high. So a lot of stuff just can be solved within the people that are in the relationships, but that's just never done. You know, you got people go out and subtweet, or they go see a quote on Instagram talking about some, ladies, if he ain't gonna do what makes you happy, he's not the one, because a real man will. And then you get all these outside sources, and you get your friends, you know, telling you, girl, you right, building up a wall to be able to even, you know, not even be able to hear what the other person in the relationship is saying, because you just have all these people in your ear telling you you're right, and you're unable to even hear the other side to be able to learn how to move forward, move past it, and how to move if it occurs again. But anyway, let me stop, you know what I'm saying, because I'm going all deep on it. You can take advice from other sources, but you have to make sure the main source that you get advice from is the person you're in a relationship with, because only they can tell you how they, you know, what makes them happy in a relationship, how things make them feel. If somebody comes to me and tells me, girl, he did this and then he said this, the only thing I can do is say, well, maybe he said that because he was upset. And in all reality, maybe he didn't say it because he was upset. Maybe he said that because it was a trigger from him based off a past experience and it offends him. It could be a whole thing, but you wouldn't know because you're talking to everybody but the person you had the altercation with, or but the person that you want to spend the rest of your life with. What I wanted to point out too is that I think one of the main problems with people my age in relationships is that it's just the failure to see like things from the opposite sex perspective. Females, you know, we want love, we want loyalty, we want that person to just only want us and only us, you know. We want that person to just want to give the world to us and just love me, and oh my goodness, yes, love, yay, we love it. When in reality, you know, a lot of women have failed to see that, you know, you may date people at this age. I mean, this is kind of the age, if you're in your 20s or young 20s, if you're early 20s, this is kind of the age where, you know, some men are going to drift into the direction of like, okay, maybe I'm a little ready to do this, and you're going to, you know, you're going to see another drift of the men who are not really trying to be on no serious stuff like that. They may date you for, you know, a year or two, but they're not really they're not going to be thinking about marriage at all, you know. You and marriage and a ring and a wet, none of that is crossing their mind. They're just, you know, men love to say, let's just go with the flow. You know why? Because they're not looking for nothing concrete right now. But the reason for that is because men, you know, and men, let me know if I'm wrong in the comments, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like I have this thing kind of figured out just a little bit. Most men in their 20s, especially early 20s, you know, they may have dated some people in college, you know, cute photos on Twitter, cute dates, you know, treated you nice, have fun, you know, but ultimately it was a transaction, which is what a relationship is, and I'm gonna get to that a little bit more. But in the early phases of life, when you have relationships, most of the time it's a transaction, you know. The female gets all these cute dates, she gets to take cute selfies, like, look at my man, you know, look at him, or, oh, I got him this cute do-rag, oh, look at this cute gift I got because he loves the 49ers, and oh, I got him tickets to this game. And, you know, the guy is like, yeah, you know, she wanted to go to this restaurant and take pictures, or yeah, bro, she wanted me to get these matching shirts, so I got them for her. But ultimately, like, everybody know what he getting out of you, and he enjoys that, you know, so no surprise whoop-de-woo when he goes and cheats, you know. So it's a transaction. But that leads to my next point about a lot of females are like, niggas ain't ish, they ain't ish, da 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 da, he cheated, da 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 da. When did y'all have a conversation about, hey, cheating is not allowed? Or did you go into it assuming? You know what I'm saying? Did y'all have a conversation about what y'all view as cheating? Or did y'all go into it assuming? You know, it's lots of stuff, once again, has to be communicated amongst those that are in the relationship. And as you get a little bit older, I'm saying as you get a little bit older, like I am older, I'm only 22. But as you get a little bit older, you have to communicate those things. You know what I'm saying? You have to say, what is it that you're looking for? If he can't answer that question, baby, he not looking for nothing serious. He's just trying to go with the flow. You know what I'm saying? He's just trying to have a good time. Just trying to have somebody chill with. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all may go out to eat. Y'all may do some fun stuff or whatever. But he not looking for nothing serious. He's not going to be looking at you like, man, is this a potential wife? He may, you know, one day be like, oh, she might be the one. I don't know. But I'm going with the flow. They ain't looking for nothing serious. If when you ask him, hey, what are you looking for when y'all first get to know each other? If he does not say, man, the next 5 years, I'm trying to be married. You know, I'm trying to da-da-da-da-da-da-da. If he don't give you that, okay, speech, then you can assume that he's going with the flow. And if you have to pry and pry and pry and pry to figure out what it is that he wants, girl, you're going to get to a point where he's going to tell you what it is you want to hear. And then when it turns out that he don't give you, you know, or follow up with them promises about the things that he said he wanted, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Another point, you know, me personally, and I be telling my, you know, people I know this, you know, girl, date older. Like, for my ladies, if you're looking for something serious, if you're not looking to just date, you're looking to date intentionally. You're looking to date to have a husband. You're looking to date to get married. One, again, you need to be asking that question, hey, what are you looking for? Because you'll get the answer. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times females, the answer be right in front of us. Well, not just females, but females and men. You know, a lot of times we'll get the answer, but the answer be right in front of you, but you just choose not to, you know, believe that that's the answer. Like, that's the answer. You know, if you say, what are you looking for? And he responds, laughing emoji, what you mean? You got your answer. If you say, hey, you know, what are you looking for with us? No, you cool. You know, I really like your vibe. You know, I definitely want to continue getting to know you. You got your answer. If you say, yeah, what are you looking for? It takes a minute to respond, and he said, what you been up to? You got your answer. If you say, hey, what are you looking for? He says, you know, to be honest with you, I'm looking for a woman that can You got your answer. Ding, 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 ding. If you're looking for a husband, marriage, you know, something to be everlasting, then there you go. It's not that hard. We overcomplicate stuff when it comes to relationships and dating and all that good stuff. I think I've kind of touched on this a little bit, but, you know, some women think that, you know, I bossed up, I'm an entrepreneur, I make X amount of money this, you know, in a year, that I should get this kind of man. And once again, we talked about this earlier. Men do not look for the amount of money that females make. That is not what men are just attracted to. No woman be like, bro, she made $250,000. Man, I gotta wife her. No, he may go tell his bros like, bro, she making money. You know what I'm saying? But that's not gonna be like, that's not what he cares about. You know what I'm saying? Because men want to be able to protect and provide. You know what I'm saying? He don't care about how much money you make. He don't. Trust me. So don't think that the more money I make, the higher caliber of men I can get. Because ultimately, the higher caliber of men that you can get, the more likely he's going to want you to just shut up and be cute and be a nice little eye candy on his side when he has to go to nice fancy dinners and carry his kids. That's the only thing. And if you happen to be the one that he puts a ring on, and you happen to be the one that's staying in the house, then you the main one. You know what I'm saying? But he's going to go out and explore his options and act on his options, because he's in his mind, I'm paying the bills. I done gave you this dream house. I done gave you kids. You don't have to worry about the cost of their education. I don't pay for their education. I give you a little allowance every month. You can go out and buy your name brand shoes, your red bottoms, whatever you want to get. You can't complain. Shut up and listen. That's what, when you get so high up, that's what it becomes. A high value man is not going to sit here and be like, man, I make all the money in the world. I'm everything that a female wants. And I only want to, you know, share it with this one person. That's not how that works. I want me a good looking average chocolate man. I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. Okay. Another thing I want to say too, you know, with the whole females be saying, niggas ain't ish, niggas ain't, oh my goodness, look at what he did, 9 times out of 10, you have a boy. Not a man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, you know, it sounds so simplistic, but people just overcomplicate it. I can't believe you have a boy. You don't have a man. So, I don't know what to tell you, sis. And also another thing, you know, we, you know, females like to complain about, oh my God, how could he? You picked him. You picked him. And on that note, date somebody who is looking for what it is you're looking for. Hey, by all means, you want an open relationship? Communicate that you want an open relationship. Hey, you want somebody that's going to be loyal to you? Pick somebody who wants to be loyal to you back. You know what I'm saying? And do what you can. Do what you can. But, you know, if y'all enjoy these videos on relationships, I will definitely do more. I can talk about this stuff all day. I feel like I'm at a point in my life where, you know, I kind of know what I want, you know, but I've also had this, like, kumbaya moment, that like the kind of man that I know that I want, like I still need to work on myself a little bit more. Something that I've thought about, you know, I'm focusing on this year actually, is you know, being comfortable doing things by myself, because I definitely don't want to, you know, obtain the man of my dreams and I run him away by being too clingy and not knowing how to go out on the weekend and do something for myself, or go take a yoga class every Wednesday and Thursday and give my man some space. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want, in my relationship, like, I definitely want us to still have our personal lives. You know, a lot of things will come together because no longer is it just two individual people. Now y'all are one. But if my man went out to go watch the game with his coworkers on Fridays, you know, once a month, I want my man to do that when I'm in a relationship. Like, if I, you know, volunteered at a cheer gym or something, you know, twice a week, I want to do that when I'm in my relationship, because if you can't keep yourself happy, how can you keep the other person that you're in a relationship with happy? Like, you have to take care of you to be able to take care of anybody else. And I'm gonna stop right there, because then I'm gonna start touching on, you know, the whole kids topic and financials and stuff like that, and I'm gonna do that in a lot more videos. But you know, I just feel like people really need to take the time to think about what it is that they want in a relationship. You know, I want somebody who can protect me and provide for me. And I think it's important that most females that want to have kids, you know, let me stay away from the kid topic. Let me say the kid topic for later. But yeah, let me just say this to my husband, if you're out there. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, I just feel like I'm at a point where I know what I'm looking for. I'm just, you know, working on myself, because I know the type of man that I want is going to want certain things out of me that I'm perfectly capable of, you know, improving. And I'm going to do that for my husband. So I'm working on me, you know, and when the right person comes along, he'll come along. Yeah. So I do also know that, like, I can't date anybody, like, not date. I can date somebody my age, like, whoop-de-whoop. But I can't marry somebody my age, because, you know, for me personally, like, I do believe in a more traditional, you know, relationship. And, you know, with that being said, you know, I want somebody that can protect and provide. I want to be able to take care of the kids. We'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, I definitely want my husband to play the husband role, and I'm fine with playing the wife role. But and I want to be submissive to my husband. We're gonna talk about that in another video. But I feel like in order for me to do that, to be submissive to my future husband, he has to be someone that I can follow if he plans to lead. And I just don't see myself following someone around my age unless they come with a much mature package. But even if you're much more mature, like, you can't compact 5 years of wisdom into 1 year. Like, it's just not possible. Like, I need this person to live a little longer than me, and that's somebody that I can, follow and be submissive to. That's just like my personal preference, but whoever is out there, whoever is my person, love of my life, if you're my age, then you better show out. You know what I'm saying? You better show out. So that's that, you know what I'm saying? And I want to say one more thing, because I feel like the men may think on this, comment that I mentioned about, me not really agreeing with the Kevin Samuels thing when it came to the BMI. I do want to say that I do encourage, I think it's a great thing for women to stay fit and to stay active and, be healthy at times and care about their health and their body. I do think that is important because, men are sexual beings, like, so are women, but men are sexual beings, and a lot of times we talk about men going off and cheating and experiencing, different things because they want to, but it's like, you want to at least do your best to make sure that what's at home is something that, like, your husband wants to come back to, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say this line, I'm gonna let it go, y'all, because I plan to do more videos about this, but a lot of times people get married and they stop doing the things that they were doing when they were actively trying to find somebody or when they were being pursued, and like, that stuff should never stop. If I care about how I look when I went out on a date, like, I don't want to be married and be like, I'm not getting dressed, let's just go eat. Like, I'm just trying to go eat and lay down. Like, no, like, men are sexual beings. They are attracted to feminine characteristics in women, you know what I'm saying? So you have to keep doing those things, you know, even after you have kids. And then, see, you take a toll when you have a lot of kids. You know, that's another topic I'm not gonna talk about. I promise you I'm not gonna talk about it. But yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. It was a lot, you know. Let me know what y'all like, don't like. Text me, hit me up on social media if you want to talk about, you know, certain thing I said in the video. If y'all want me to go in depth on a certain topic a little bit more, let me know. But that's a wrap. Continue to be the best version of yourself. Okay, that was a lot.